Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News, an Indian perspective on All India Radio. This is Renuka bringing glimpses of major developments of the day from across the globe. The headlines. India and China hold 7th round of talks to resolve border issues along LAC in Ladakh. FATF Asia Pacific Group reprimands Pakistan for slow progress on combating terror financing. New Delhi says Kuwait is an important and trusted partner in achieving energy security. 7 Indian nationals abducted in Libya released. New Delhi and Mail conclude $400 million line of credit agreement for India-aided Greater Maritime Project. And American economists Paul Milgrom and Robert Wilson jointly win this year's Nobel Prize in Economics. India and China are holding the 7th round of talks to resolve the border issues on the line of actual control in Ladakh. The meeting of the military commanders from the two sides is underway at Chushul border post on the Indian side of LAC in Ladakh. India has been categorical in its stand that pre-April status quo should be maintained along the border. Meanwhile, Defence Minister of India Rajnath Singh inaugurated 44 bridges in Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Punjab today. Among these, 8 bridges are located in Ladakh on 4 strategically important roads close to line of control with Pakistan and line of actual control with China in Ladakh region. More from our correspondent in Leh.
8 bridges in Ladakh are inaugurated by the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today. Speaking on the occasion, Rajnath Singh said the bridges built in a record time are not just strategically important but also key in socio-economic development of Ladakh region. 3 bridges are on Jojila-Kargil-Leh highway, 2 are on Khalsar-Sasoma road and 1 each on Shanku-Kunur-Sapila-Mulbik road, Nimu-Padam-Darcha road and Turbuk-Shayok-Dauluk-Beg Oldie at line of actual control. Nimu-Padam-Darcha is developed as an alternative access to Leh from Manali through Janskar. This is a strategically deceptive road avoiding any enemy observation of movement. Ramesh Chandra, All India Radio News, Leh.
In a major setback to Pakistan, the Financial Action Task Force's Asia Pacific Group on money laundering has reprimanded it for slow progress on the technical recommendation of the FATF to fight terror financing. Pakistan had requested to revise its rating related to financial sanctions on terrorism and terrorist financing, but the APG said the progress is not sufficient and hence the country fails to justify a re-rating. The APG thus said Pakistan will remain in the enhanced follow-up list. It will have to continue to report back to the APG on progress to strengthen its implementation of comprehensive anti-money laundering and terrorist financing measures. New Delhi sees Kuwait as an important and trusted partner in achieving energy security. This was conveyed by the Indian Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Dharmendra Pradhan, to the Gulf country's Oil Minister, Khalid Ali Al-Fadel, on Monday. Pradhan, who is on a 2-day visit to Kuwait, held discussions with his counterpart to enhance the energy partnership between the two countries, including two-way investments in the oil and gas sector. The minister also offered condolences to the Kuwaiti leadership on the passing away of former MS Sheikh Shabba Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah last month. 7 Indian nationals who have been abducted at Ashiverif in Libya on 14th of September have been released. Ministry of External Affairs of India has confirmed that all the personnel are in good health. India has conveyed its gratitude to the Libyan authorities and tribal elders from the region for their steadfast cooperation in securing the release of Indian nationals unharmed. It further said that it is trying to complete requisite formalities to enable their return to India. Japan vowed Monday to bolster its missile deterrence capability to respond to threats by North Korean weapons. The weapons are displayed during Pyongyang's military parade over the weekend. North Korea, marking the 75th anniversary of its ruling party on Saturday, paraded a variety of weapon systems. These include what appeared to be an intercontinental ballistic missile that is larger than any of Northern's known ICBMs. It also displayed what was likely to be an upgraded version of a missile that can be fired from submarines. This is All India Radio giving you the world news. India and Maldives on Monday concluded $400 million line of credit LOC agreement for the implementation of the Greater Mali Connectivity Project GMCP. This is the single largest connectivity and infrastructure project in the island nation. India in August had announced that it will fund the implementation of the GMC project through a $400 million LOC and $100 million grant. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar had said the 6.7-kilometer bridge project connecting Mali with Gulhi Falhu Port and Thilafushi Industrial Zone will help revitalize and transform Maldivian economy. U.S. academics Paul Milgrom and Robert Wilson have won the 2020 Nobel Prize for Economics for their work on auctions. Among the insights of the two Stanford University economists is an explanation of how bidders seek to avoid the so-called winner's curse of overpaying. It also reveals what happens when bidders gain a better understanding of their rival's sense of value. The theory has been hailed as benefiting buyers and sellers around the world of everything from fishing quotas to aircraft landing slots. The East Turkestan government in exile on Monday said the United States needs to know what China is doing in occupied East Turkestan, also called Xinjiang. It has termed the situation as nothing less than genocide and colonization. This comes in response to a video message released by the U.S. State Department on human rights abuses committed by China against Uyghurs and members of other minority groups. These measures include coercive population control, forced labor, and repression of cultural and religious expression. However, China regularly denies such mistreatment and says the camps provide vocational training. The European Union said on Monday that it will extend the sanctions on individuals and entities involved in the development and use of chemical weapons until October 16 in 2021. The restrictions consist of a ban on EU travel and an asset freeze. The sanctions, initially introduced 2 years ago, apply to 9 persons, of which 5 are linked to the Syrian regime and 4 involved in the poisoning of Russia's former double agent Sergei Skripal. Besides this, the restrictions are also imposed on Syria's Scientific Studies and Research Center. Tensions between Turkey and Greece have risen after a brief calm. Turkey has reiterated its resolve to continue to protect its right of exploration in the contested waters of the eastern Mediterranean. Turkish ship Oruk Reis set sail on Monday with plans to conduct new seismic surveys south of the Greek island of Castellorizo. Greece has called it a major escalation threatening regional peace. European Union said last month that it would impose sanctions on Turkey if it continued its operation in the region. The European Union has warned Belarus on Monday that it will impose sanctions on President Alexander Lukashenko and other officials if they fail to hold talks with the opposition. Meanwhile, security forces in Belarus detained dozens of protesters on Sunday. They used force, including water cannon and batons, to break up crowds demanding a new presidential election. Bangladesh cabinet on Monday approved a draft law to include death penalty as the highest punishment for rape. The decision to amend the Prevention of Women and Children Repression Act 2000 came after the weekly cabinet meeting chaired by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in Dhaka. Now let's take a look at the coronavirus updates. According to WHO data, the number of infected cases has crossed 37.42 million worldwide. Asia-Pacific countries including Singapore, Australia and Japan are gradually easing some international travel restrictions in hopes of helping to revive their economies as rate of new coronavirus cases slow down. Meanwhile, India has sustained its leading position globally as the country with maximum recovered cases. The national COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 86.36% with over 6 million recoveries so far. Moving on to sports, in Indian Premier League cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore has set a target of 194 runs for 2 wickets in their stipulated 20 overs. In its reply, Kolkata Knight Riders has scored 65 for 5 wickets in 11.2 overs as per the latest updates. India is celebrating the 151st birthday anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Before we end, let us listen to Vaishnava Jan, sung by artists from Uganda. And with that, we end this bulletin. See you at the same time tomorrow.